The girl was having a wedding with the man she loved, but unexpectedly, the pouch her grandmother left behind told her to run for her life. Held onto her grandmother's portrait, praying for her grandmother's protection. But just then, she heard noises from outside. She got up to check and found the front door had been opened at some point, and there were sounds of someone picking a lock. The girl was terrified. She was sure the killer had come back for her. At that moment, all she could do was try to save herself, so she quickly locked her bedroom door, then threw a glass cup out the window, then hid under the bed. The killer upstairs heard the noise and quickly came to the girl's room. He walked straight to the window. The girl was so scared she didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Luckily, the killer just crouched down to tie his shoelace and left soon after. The girl thought she was safe, so she quietly crawled out from under the bed to check outside. But as soon as she stepped out, the killer grabbed her and began to harm her. The girl cried out in despair, but it was raining heavily outside and no one else was around. No matter how loud she screamed, no one would come to save her. Just when the girl had lost all hope, 2 police officers suddenly burst in and immediately restrained the killer. Then, they told the girl that they had received an emergency text. That's why they were patrolling this area. They hadn't expected to save the girl just in time. They thought the girl was extremely lucky, but the girl knew that it was all her grandmother's arrangement. After this incident, the girl finally moved to her stepfather's home in the city. They made her live on the balcony and treated her like she was invisible. Even her 6-year-old brother often pointed at her and called her useless, even told her to get out of the house. But the girl didn't mind. Even though no one loved her, she felt protected by her grandmother's love. Until 6 years later, a man who loved her just like her grandmother appeared. He led the girl out of the darkness. The girl thought she had finally found her home in life, but little did she know, this was her second life-threatening disaster. With the wedding about to begin, the girl became even more anxious. She didn't know who wanted to harm her this time, but she followed her grandmother's words in her heart. She left everyone behind and ran out alone. Soon, the girl arrived at a remote alley, facing the urging of her mother and fiancé. The girl became very emotional. At that moment, she didn't even know what she was doing, why she had to run away from the fiancé who truly loved her. In the middle of repeated breakdowns, she tried her best to stay calm. Since her grandmother told her to flee the wedding, the person trying to harm her had to be at the wedding. So the urgent task was to find out who wanted to kill her. Soon, she thought of her stepfather, because he had recently racked up $300,000 in gambling debts and had insisted on borrowing money from her. The girl refused, so he threatened to stop her from getting married, and she didn't see her stepfather at the wedding today, so she was convinced he was the killer. So she rushed back home in a panic. She asked her mother where her stepfather had gone and told her everything that had happened, but her mother lied after hearing the story. Seeing this,